Alright, so the audience retention seems to do pretty well against this blue background, so we're going to do some reviews from now on, and you guys let me know how you guys like it down in the comment section below. Alright guys, so thank you so much for clicking on this video and joining me for another movie review, where today we are discussing Tick Tick Boom, the newest movie to hit Netflix this past weekend, directed by Lin Manuel Miranda, and starring Andrew Garfield as Johnny Larson, based on a true story of an inspiring playwright who hopes to make it on Broadway before he turns 30. He is days away from debuting his next big project, which he still hasn't written the final song for. As Johnny struggles to get this final song written before his big presentation, his relationships around him start to crumble. Alright, so first things first, it's very important to point out that Tick Tick Boom is a musical. And when you start looking at the cast and people involved in this movie, it starts to make a little bit more sense. Lin Manuel Miranda, yeah, that adds up. Vanessa Hudgens is in this movie. I know Gabriella. She's got respect on her name. But, oh my gosh, Andrew Garfield is Johnny Larson. That Spider-Man can sing. Yeah, every time that I see Andrew Garfield pop up in another movie, he just impresses me more and more with his talent. And in this movie, dude, that guy, I cannot believe the notes that he was belting out of his mouth. Andrew Garfield sounds amazing in this movie. He's amazing in all of the choreography. He's amazing in all of the songs. All of the musical numbers in this movie are just top-notch amazing. The way that they're edited into the movie and the way that they flow in and out to interrupt the narrative of the story, I thought was done very well. And I just thought this movie was beautifully directed by Lin Manuel Miranda. I thought he did a fantastic job with not just the musical sequences and musical numbers and choreography, but also just with the storytelling and the actors themselves. And going back to Andrew Garfield, not only can the man sing, he can act. We already knew this about Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield is a fantastic actor. He's one of my favorite actors working today. But in this movie, I just feel like Andrew Garfield brings out a whole new side of him. He is so phenomenal in this movie. He is captivating. He brings that charismatic energy to Johnny Larson that Andrew Garfield brings to the screen and just makes him such an amazing presence to watch. And this movie is no exception. He holds the movie on his shoulders. He has so much to do as the lead actor in this movie, and he just knocks all of it way out of the park. A big theme of this movie, and essentially the point of this movie for me, is how someone trying to make it, whether it's in Hollywood, whether it's in their profession, whatever it is, whatever dream you have, there's this drive, there's this persistence that you have to go through to make it. And in this movie, they kind of blur the line of what exactly is pursuing and what exactly is an obsession. Because you really see how this goal of Johnny Larson is to get a play on Broadway before he turns 30, because all of the people that he looks up to on Broadway had their plays out before they reached the age of 30. And Johnny Larson's only days away from turning 30. You really see how that obsession, almost like an addict who needs help, really starts to affect his life around him. You see how it affects his friends, his personal relationships, his girlfriend, romantic relationships. And this movie was made for the creative, because this movie has so much heart in it. And while I think theater kids and those trying to make it in the entertainment world in general are going to relate the most to this movie is really universal for everyone. If you have a goal, if you have something that you're pursuing, just a dream that you have, you can relate to Johnny Larson in this movie. And Andrew Garfield really captures the struggle and the pain that can come from pursuing your dreams. I did find that some of the musical sequences, because the music is at the forefront of this movie, if there's gonna be an emotional moment within the story, it's gonna be done through song. And the way that they add the music into this movie, it kind of jumps back and forth out of chronological order of what's going on in Johnny's life. And I feel like the way that they were able to do the musical sequences that essentially took place in the future, reflecting on the past, I found that that was a really effective way to get inside Johnny's head and to see what he was going through during that moment in the story. But I also felt like by cutting back to the songs every time there was a real emotional moment would sometimes take away from the drama of that moment, just because the performances could be covered up by a song. But for the most part, the songs and the dramatic moments are linked and edited together so tightly and interwoven that they work so well together. I got emotional during this movie. By the end of this movie, I'm not going to spoil it. If you don't know the life of Johnny Larson like I didn't, I won't spoil the ending of this movie for you, but I was crushed by the end of this movie. I had tears coming down my face. This movie just hits you right where you live, especially if you're any kind of creative person who ever dreamt of making it in Hollywood or the entertainment business. And as someone who's trying their hand at this YouTube thing, I really related to it. Guys, it's as simple as this. If you're not a musical person, if you hate musicals, you despise them, this is a not recommend for you. I think the music is such at the forefront. There is so many musical sequences, but they're good musical sequences, especially the opening song 3090, which Andrew Garfield just sings his lungs out with. He's so freaking good. I want more songs from Andrew Garfield, man. I've been listening to 3090 all day at work today. But if you're not into musicals, this is a not recommend. But if you're someone like me who neither hates nor loves musicals, as long as they're done well, I can pretty much enjoy them, then I give a pretty strong recommend to check out Tick Tick Boom on Netflix when you get the chance. And honestly, I usually don't watch very many direct-to-Netflix movies. I feel like they're kind of the equivalent day of the direct-to-DVD movie. Like, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be bad. But Tick Tick Boom is an exception. This was a pretty good one. Anyway, guys, what did you think of Tick Tick Boom? Have you had a chance to see it yet? Comment down below. Let me know. I want to know all your thoughts and opinions about this movie. Once again, guys, thank you for clicking on this video and checking out my channel. If you like all things movie, TV, and entertainment, why don't you go on and click that subscribe button, click that like button, click that notification bell, all that YouTube stuff. And I hope to talk to you guys again real soon.